Payne was singing about the sea, we had a sound like waves crashing. I thought that was so cool. Well done. Yeah. Well, you know what I love? Among so many things about our seasoned LEC family and friends. And I think you know what I mean by seasoned. We've all been in this world a while. And because we have, as we consider together on Sundays and in our classes, the spiritual nature of life and the spiritual beings that we are within it, and as we consider that we are created to enjoy our life, even while we're in the world, that we're not meant to struggle or suffer. I love that at this point in our life that we're willing to give up our poor, pitiful me stories that we've pretty much perfected since childhood. They're great stories. You know those dysfunctional stories about our relationship with one or both of our parents? Our "they failed me" stories about our school teachers? Our "nobody liked me" stories about other kids when we were growing up? Our "they rejected me" stories about our early love life? I mean, they're good stories. They're compelling stories that we can whip off just like that. And they so often elicit shaking heads and commiseration, and sometimes sympathy. Plus, we get to use them as an excuse, or at least an explanation, as to why we are the way we are. It's tough to give that up. But I believe that part of our willingness to let the past go at this point may be because we can see that our blaming anyone in our past for our life today, considering the distance we've come in time and space from then to now, is pretty far-fetched. Emphasis on far. And besides, we've noticed, as we've gotten older, that holding so tightly for so long on old news that isn't good news just gives us a cramp in our mind muscle. But mostly, I believe that we've all become wise enough to know that holding on to blame holds us back, keeps us from experiencing the love and joy and peace and freedom that is ours to create a life that we enjoy living. And so we're willing to seek and find and then remove any barriers in our thinking that we've built with blame. Barriers that prevent us from owning our life, owning our experience of life, and from using our power of choice and our vibrational freedom to focus on the good that we want and attract it into our life with ease. In other words, we're done with the hard life and we're ready for the good life. And the way of The way of the heart puts it this way. We're willing to do whatever we can to open up those places, to feel those places, to embrace those places, to love those places, and to claim those places to be fully self-created. We know by now, through our own experience, that we create our life as we're living it, by thinking of it in a particular way. And that we can change our life with our next thought. We know that it's up to us to let go of feelings that feel bad and sad about anything that happened before or maybe happening now. If we want to feel happy and glad about our life right now, and to have some fun while we're creating it. Today's talk, as it's been mentioned, is Amazing Grace. Blame is the opposite of grace. Grace is full of unearned, unconditional blessings. Blame contracts and restricts us with fear and anger and powerlessness. We can't feel both grace and blame at the same time. So, if we still have just a little bit of residue of blame going on, the way of the heart gives us an excellent rampage of release to help us remove any vestige of blame. We read, I will let my parents off the hook. I will let my siblings off the hook. I will let my great, 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 great grandfather off the hook. I will let Adam and Eve off the hook. And I will love myself enough to heal my separation from God. If we want to remove any thought that, even for a moment, causes us to feel separate from the love that is God, if we want to heal any trace of blame that causes us to live, even for a moment, without feeling God's grace, we need to love ourselves enough to allow the love in us to include all beings in this world, no matter what. To stop criticizing those we've known and to cease building up a case against those we've yet to meet. Now, if over the years you've been here on Mother's Day and you've heard my mama drama stories, then you'll be relieved to know that this is the second Mother's Day in which I am so aware that I live in a state of grace that heals me every moment from the inside, that I feel only love on this day, and I have only good things to say. I chose the title Amazing Grace because for me, grace feels like such a feminine quality of source energy. I mean, when we speak of someone or something that's graceful in the world, we usually think of excellence or beauty in form or manner or motion or action, like a ballerina. But Science Mind tells us the universal soul has been called the womb of nature, and the Holy Mother. Grace rains down upon all of us in this world from beyond this world, like a mother's heart embracing us with unconditional love that gave birth to us. We're precious and innocent in the eyes of grace. She knows our good intentions even when we're blaming ourselves, when something doesn't seem to go the way we wanted it to, for ourselves or for someone else. No matter what may be going on in our personal life or in the world around us, grace calls us from within to come, to be embraced, to be comforted, to feel unlimited, unrestricted acceptance. Grace never lets our sad, sorry stories stick to us or to anyone else. Muji refers to grace as the breath of the self that calls us away from the chaos and noise of the world, from the anger, from the conflict, from the finger pointing in this world. Grace calls us away from that. We first experience grace when we recognize our own innocence. When we realize that no matter what we've done, or no matter what anyone has said about us, we are loved unconditionally by the very love that gave us birth and loves us still just the way we are. From that place of grace, we're able to see that grace rains down all over this world without favor or prejudice. Grace flows through all that exists because grace is the nature of love. It's the Holy Mother in action. A Course in Miracles tells us grace is acceptance of the love of God within a world of seeming hate and fear. By grace alone, the hate and fear are gone. For grace presents a state so opposite to everything the world contains that those whose minds are lighted by the gift of grace cannot believe the world of fear is real. It is by grace that we have always been safe. No matter what may have happened in our worldly experiences in the past, or what may happen in the future. Grace is right there. Grace frees our heart and our mind so that we can be fully joyful, fully loving, completely peaceful. Grace allows us to be more aware of our inner being, our true being, the light of Christ that it lives in us as us. Grace allows the ray of that light to penetrate our mind and lift our awareness to all the good around us. It deepens and it flowers within us so that we live without fear of being ourselves or of being with anyone else. When grace fills us, with the awareness that love has kept us innocent since before time began. We're able to see the same innocence in all others, no matter how anyone may be behaving in any moment. The world is showered with grace continuously. It never ceases for any reason. It flows unrestricted within the gap between thoughts, and it flows beneath and above and all round every thought, calling it to raise higher. The world is blessed through us, individually. In any moment we allow grace, the breath of our true self, to call us away from the chaos and noise of the world and the noise of our own thoughts. So, however we are spending this Mother's Day, may every moment be filled with amazing grace.